What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. gave his assessment about Errol "The Truth" Spence, and people started hating. And he was like, why is everyone hating? What's the hatred for me? Why do I have to be hating on anyone? He told what he thought about Errol Spence. He thinks that Errol Spence can't get credit for beating a Kell Brook, which was damaged with the fight before that. Then fighting a guy 2 weight classes too small for him that's coming up in weight. He can't get credit for that. Shawn Porter will test him. You know, he will make him fight for what he has. And then we'll see what he's about. But then who is he going to do? Why is he fighting Crawford? He should prove to the people, if he wants to be great like people say that he is, to fight someone else that is on that level. Okay? And Shawn Porter is a very good fighter, but who would you regard Shawn Porter? Who would be better, Shawn Porter or Terrence Crawford? So those things that Roy Jones Jr. mentioned in regards to Errol Spence Jr., and people went ballistic. They thought it was another older retired fighter hating on the fresh and current fighter. This isn't a Lennox Lewis and Anthony Joshua, people. This is Roy Jones Jr. stating what is. And what is this? Errol Spence is making a lot of excuses, or his boss is making a lot of excuses not to fight Terrence Crawford. People know that by now. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to see, hey, I will fight anyone else except Terrence Crawford. And on top of that, Roy Jones said it made perfect sense. Like, hey, well, I wasn't no one until I beat Bernard Hopkins and James Toney. Then people started to understand. So until Errol Spence does that, he won't get that type of recognition from him. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you want to hype a fighter up or whatever and jump on the bandwagon for a fighter, I get it, for being a casual. But for me as a hardcore boxing fan, on top of someone, a legend like Roy Jones Jr., you know, we're not fooled by the bullshit. We see the smoke and mirrors. Okay, you're talking about fighting Danny Garcia now. Danny Garcia, is Danny Garcia an all-time great? Is he even on the top pound-for-pound list? Nothing against Danny Garcia at all. But the thing is, the fighters that he's fighting, the fight that he should fight, the fight that could define him as one of the best, instead of taking the easy route, and we'll talk about that in a second, he didn't do. Okay. He's rather taken the Shawn Porter quote unquote easy route, right? Okay. Well, what's wrong with taking the hard route? What's wrong with challenging yourself? Are you comfortable in your ability? Okay. It's about confidence. And I don't think he has that confidence. Me counterpunching Errol Spence, me agreeing with Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. just saying, you know what, when he was around, he fought all the top guys, all of them. If someone said, hey, you wouldn't want to fight this guy. Okay, hey, you can't beat this guy. Where he at? Let's fight him. Okay. So it's one of them situations where people are targeting Roy Jones Jr. for having an opinion. And he's like, hey, you guys need to grow up. You guys need to stop with all this thin skinness, because my opinion shouldn't hurt you. You shouldn't call me a hater because I feel that Errol Spence needs to do more to define himself as one of this great fighter like people hyping him up to be. What I learned from the Shawn Porter fight is he showed that he might be a little better than Shawn Porter, but then there's people that think he lost. So how do you go fighting tooth and nail with Shawn Porter, a guy that's not really considered pound for pound, and then consider yourself one of the best? And still, you know what I mean? People are still jumping on that hype train. Oh, man, he's this. Oh, man, he's that. Oh, man, he went toe-to-toe with Shawn Porter. If it wasn't for the knockdown, I would have gave it to Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what that is. You're just a tad bit better than Shawn Porter. You're nothing special at this point, you know? So if he needs to prove that, if he wants to take the easy route once again by fighting Shawn Porter, so be it. But don't hate on Roy Jones Jr. because he calls it how it is. You know what I mean? Is comparison to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a dude that's stopping these guys. Okay? He's stopping these guys. It ain't no, oh, man. Okay, have you ever seen a Terrence Crawford fight where you thought Terrence Crawford lost? Think about it. Just take a second to think about that. Has you ever been in a fight you're like, oh, I don't know, man. I think Terrence lost that one. That decision went wrong. But we are seeing that about Errol Spence when he is raising his level of opposition, right? So this is what we have. We have a guy that's a good fighter, but is he a great fighter? No. Like Roy Jones Jr. said, I think he's a great person, but he hasn't defined himself as a great fighter yet. There's nothing wrong with that. He ain't hating on him again. He's just telling him how he feels about him. You're talking about a legend, a guy that did what he's supposed to do to be considered a legend, which he is. And this is Roy Jones Jr., people. So you can't sit there and fool him by the shit that they're doing and by the strategies and tactics that they're doing today, making people appear like they're better than they really are. Okay, that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Roy Jones Jr.'s statements. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.